Hello, today is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. Here is your daily signal. According to Fortune, Iran has issued a sweeping set of demands to the United States, including total compensation for war damage, before reopening the strategic Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital maritime link between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman, handling nearly 20% of global oil shipments. Iran has a history of threatening closure as a form of leverage against Western sanctions or military actions, and its recent demands are tied to damages from past conflicts involving Western powers. As Al Jazeera reported, Iran issued fresh compensation demands and renewed threats on August 11, 2026. The U.S. State Department quickly warned that closure would have grave economic consequences, while Saudi Arabia responded by stepping up naval patrols in the Gulf, according to The Guardian. Immediate risks include a spike in world oil prices and higher shipping insurance rates. In the medium term, routes could be diverted, military presence ramped up, and diplomatic efforts intensified to manage tensions. Petrochemical supply chains globally may remain unstable until a resolution is reached, and ongoing disputes may escalate to sanctions or international arbitration. Next, turning to automotive safety and legal developments. Drivers of Mercedes-AMG vehicles have filed a class action lawsuit, claiming the front seat logo is so hot it causes actual burns, Fortune reports. Mercedes-AMG is now under intense scrutiny for possible design defects in its front seat logo, first flagged by automotive safety experts in July 2026, and product safety regulations from the European Commission put liability on manufacturers when such flaws injure consumers. The defect was confirmed in a technical review by Germany's Federal Motor Transport Authority. Mercedes-AMG has announced a preliminary recall investigation for the front seat logo mounting as of August 11, 2026. The risk affects seat components reasonably expected to touch occupants' upper backs or shoulders, and regulatory compliance analysis relies on standards like ISO 26262 and failure mode/effects analysis. Mercedes-AMG faces imminent consumer lawsuits if injuries are substantiated in the next 6 months, with a mandatory recall potentially impacting up to 40,000 vehicles in EU markets by mid-2027. Regulatory fines may reach 10 million based on European precedent, and the reputational fallout could reduce AMG's share in the luxury performance segment through 2027. Moving now to environmental news and the tech sector. TechCrunch reports a planned Amazon data center in Texas could become the largest source of climate pollution in the United States due to its massive on-site power plant. Data centers are increasingly powered by their own plants, and Amazon's Texas facility spotlights growing concerns over greenhouse gas emissions and local water impacts. Federal and state agencies regulate these infrastructures, with Texas favored for its deregulated electricity market and cheap natural gas. Amazon Web Services operates the facility, and recent coverage shows the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality granted an air permit on August 10, 2026 for a 300 MW natural gas plant. A coalition of environmental groups immediately filed a petition for stricter emissions limits, while Amazon responded by planning greater water recycling to tackle drought risks. Local residents have highlighted pollution and water consumption risks, and energy providers like Calpine Corp along with the U.S. EPA monitor regulatory compliance. In the short term, tighter emissions rules could delay expansion and raise costs for Amazon. The medium-term outlook features improved water management and new industry standards for sustainable practices. Negative publicity and scrutiny may push other tech giants to up their investment in renewable energy, and advocacy could bring better transparency and monitoring for local communities. Now, onto the markets. International equities saw mixed moves, with Germany's EWG inching up 0.2%, while France's EWQ slipped 0.1%. United Kingdom and Italy also edged lower, but Spain outperformed with EWP rising 0.35%, and Netherlands EWN leading gains up 1%. Chile and Belgium posted slight declines, while China large-cap FXI dropped sharply by 2.3%, and Japan's EWJ rose marginally. India and Saudi Arabia were little changed, while Singapore's EWS stood out, surging 2.3%. Africa ETF AFK sharply retreated 1% despite strong month-over-month gains, and Indonesia's IDX fell 2%. Commodities mostly retreated, as gold GLD slipped 0.4% and silver SLV dropped 1.4%, while US oil USO bucked the trend, rising 1.3%. Platinum PPLT and agriculture DBA also fell by around 0.8%, but uranium URA surged 1.8%. Copper CPR advanced slightly and lithium LIT fell nearly 0.8%. In favorites, Adobe AB posted a notable 3.4% drop despite strong monthly gains, while AMD rose 1% and Microsoft MSFD edged down 0.4%. Nvidia and VDA was nearly flat, but Axon jumped 6.7% and Oracle declined by 3.7%. Amazon lost 2.1%, JD dropped 4.6%, and Marvell MRVL rose nearly 1.8%. Intel Inc. was stable, low LOW climbed 1%, and Apple retreated 1%. In sectors, the S&P 500 SPY slipped 0.3% though monthly gains persisted, with healthcare Roman 45 down 0.25% and Finance XLF flat. Real estate XLRE fell 0.7%, while semiconductors SOX gained 0.9% and aerospace ITA rose 0.3%. Rate RWR dropped sharply by 1%, and transportation XTN fell 0.56%. Clean energy QCLN advanced 1.4%. Today's top gainer, Planet Green Holdings PLAG, soared 135%, while Quantum Corp Cumiko gained 65%. The steepest losers included PDS Biotechnology PDSB, falling 65%, and Mycium, iMyCU, down 61%. That's it for today. You can find more news and details on our website. Goodbye.